Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. This is episode 34. This is the show where we talk about the Steam releases and dig through them so that you don't have to. So, I'm here today with, joined by Roadypie.
Hello.
She's going through a bit of a blue period right now, so please be understanding. But, and then we got TheRadioTom.
Hello, I've got blue and red and pink going on. I
Yeah.
don't know what my period is anymore.
Back and better than ever. So,
I'm back.
I'm back. So, welcome. We got our panel of podcast. Also, we have our ever-present co-host Chat. Welcome, co-host, the fourth co-host. So please let us know your opinions and thoughts. The chat, yes. One of my favorite podcasters, he calls Chat Uncle Chat, and I think that's so funny. Uncle Chat,
really like
what does
that.
Uncle Chat think? That sort of stuff. It's so funny.
Hey, Uncle Chad.
Hey, Uncle Chat. Like,
Ooh, Day and Buffoon Batman made it today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining.
Hi.
And oh, sincerely, Day. Hello, and of course, Jessen24,
Yes.
the sexy beast himself. And and with that, we're just gonna get on to the what'd you guys play this week. So starting TheRadioTom, what has been occupying your time on Steam?
Well, as always, it's been a lot of Binding of Isaac. I'm
Binding of
absolutely
Isaac.
absorbed and entranced in that game. I've been doing a little bit more in Void Bastards, and then I booted up the Stanley Parable recently again, because I had a random urge to go through it. I kind of forgot about a lot of the endings and stuff going on, so I went back and played that.
Oh, isn't the Stanley Parable getting like a new release too?
Yeah, I think they're doing one for the Switch, and it sounded like there was actually going to be some updates to it as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
they're adding new content and such because, as they said in the advertisement, Daddy needs a third pool. That's why they're doing it, which I thought was so funny.
Oh yeah,
It's like just so blatant. We're re-releasing because we want money.
at least they're honest.
You know what? When you're honest, like it makes me want to support that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice. So yeah, we've got the Stanley Parable. Anything else?
Not a whole lot since last time I talked to you, lovely peoples.
Okay. How about you, Roadypie? How is your journey through your list going?
So finished Unheard. I did a strum and we finished Unheard. And great ending. And there's they've already released a DLC in the original language, but I think they're just translating it now. So
Oh, I didn't realize this was a Chinese game.
yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that DLC because it's very interesting ending, and there are there's one of these things where there can be slight different endings depending on what decision you make at the end. So yeah, it's such a great game, and I played a bit of Dissembler, Dissembler. Dissembler. It's sort of like a puzzle game, and the developer did something else that we talked about. What was it? Jump Grid. I think we talked about jump.
Oh yeah.
And he did that. So I wasn't interested in Jump Grid, but I was definitely interested in Dissembler. And yeah, it's a really nice sort of puzzler. So yeah, so there's some very difficult ones. But yeah, I keep going back to it and seeing how far I can get.
I like how it looks. It looks really cheap at first until you see the blocks in motion. Like once you see the block in motion, it's like, oh, this looks really nice. But when it's just like an image, it's like, oh, is this a paint image? And then you see it in motion, it's like, oh, okay, this actually has a nice aesthetic. So the screenshots do not do it justice. You have to see it in motion. That's cool.
It's something, I don't know, just something very, very satisfying about it.
Yeah. We didn't. Yeah, this came out in February, but we didn't talk about it, so we missed out. But that's cool.
Yeah. And I finished the Final Fantasy XIV main storyline.
Oh. Is it the best Final Fantasy storyline ever?
That's a no.
In terms of it making sense, yeah, because most of them don't make any bloody sense. So
it's at least consistent, like lore-wise. It's like, oh, okay, I can see how this concluded and why it concluded that way.
Yeah. It made absolute sense. It was very emotional. It's and I think that's what I like about Final Fantasy XIV. It does convey the emotions that you're supposed to be feeling very well, instead of like, wait, what? Wait, why did that
where it
person
lands
do
really
this?
flat. It's like, oh, this character died. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's gonna hammer it into me for like the next like 10 levels that you need to care about this person.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's not the case.
This is like, you get to know somebody properly, and you get to know these great characters, and everyone's got like sort of like different facets about them. So yeah, I really like that. And I also finished the last mission. I don't know if I spoke about this last week. I think it was this week when I finished it, but Final Fantasy XI. I finished. Really? Yeah, and no, this is an interesting one because when my friend played it, the guy that is leader of my LS and everything, my big shell, he was devastated.
Really?
Devastated. Oh, wow. Absolutely, and he didn't want to play anymore. So this was a few years ago, and because at the time they were wrapping everything up, they weren't going to release anything else. They weren't going to do any more updates, and my friend said, at the time, he said all the people in the link show were gone. Those didn't have anyone to play with. They didn't, and like playing this and saying, well, this is the end sort of thing. He would make you feel that way. But when I played it, I had quite a positive feeling from it. It says, well, they're saying that you're still going to go on adventures. You're still, and such person, they're so-and-so's okay, and blah, 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 and this is happening. So, it's, I think it had different meanings to different people, which is, is quite an interesting way they've done that. But yeah, now they're doing like monthly digests where they're going through what things are implementing in the game, and they've also got plans for the 20th anniversary, which is in 3 years' time. So something's brewing. They're working on something, and they're doing adjustments now, and get new gears coming out and new content. So it's like, so it's not dead yet.
I would not be surprised if a Final Fantasy XI remake is in the works.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, like updated graphics or something. Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
It is actually on Steam. You can actually get it on Steam if
that's cool.
Anyone's interested.
All right. And with that, so there's...
what have you been playing?
Oh, what have I been playing? That's right.
Yeah.
So I guess I was going to talk about this later, but we might as well talk about this now. We have the Atma. Atma was a free student game that we played, that we talked about last week. It has the aesthetic appearance of Hyper Light Drifter, but the combat is more Okami. At least that's how most people describe it. And having not played Okami, I had to look up videos of Okami to see like, oh, okay, I can see the resemblance. It's It's quite a nice little game. I played it through once, but there seems to be a bit of a replay. There's like a different decision. It's basically a decision of like the many or the few. And you have to choose the many or the few. I chose the many, but I do want to play through it again and choose the few and see how it changes. Because at least how I came to the ending, had I chosen the few, the ending that happened would not have happened. So I'm like, there's something different here. So I am curious. I'll have to do a quick replay, but it's only about 45 minutes long. It took me about an hour and a half because I was too busy looking at all the pretty stuff. Because this game is a feast for the eyes. It's very beautiful. The pixel art and the animation, the frames are so smooth. The movement's a bit slow because your character literally just walks the whole time. There's no run. Like, it's just a walk. But it's such a feast for the eyes, I didn't really mind. The audio is done really nicely. And it's a 100% free game. So if you have 45 spare minutes and you just want to look at a really pretty pixel art and play, you know, a decent beginning of what could have been a larger game, there's this. And this is basically just some person's portfolio. I hope they get hired and do amazing things. This is a second-year student, too, so...
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I am very impressed.
So it's not even like the third year final even. So, wow, that's very impressive.
Top Gun Bunny also played this, so I'm going to have to get his thoughts next time he's on, whenever that is. So, but yeah, that is at... Let me see, what else did I play this last week? Mostly Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, because I finally got access to Final Fantasy 14 again, because I got locked out. And now I've got it again. Everything's fine. So I'm doing a thing though where I'm leveling a new character on a different data center because I have an IRL friend here who plays, and so I'm just gonna surprise them with like, oh hey, ready to play with you, because he's not at max level yet, which is nice, so I can like catch up with him.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
Just do some playing with him a bit, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and so that's my thing.
I don't know how you're not itching to jump into the news story. I'd be like,
I love leveling though, so I do have my other character, and it's finishing up Heavensward, my other main character. So I am working on that, but at the same time, I'm really enjoying the Heavensward story again because I'd spent so long I've forgotten a lot of the details.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am definitely itching. I want to be caught up with Shadowbringers at least before the next expansion's anywhere close to coming out. But that's a process. Yeah. What do we want to play? Oh, right. So there is one topic before we get to the list. We got a couple topics. The first is the Steam experiments. So I signed up for the beta. I don't know if you guys did.
No, although they have, you know, it's always suggested.
Yeah. So I think if we just go to the store page, it'll show, experiment with us, new in Steam Labs. So of course I'm not showing the whole picture, but so we have, they're adding micro trailer features. Well, these aren't confirmed additions. These are experiments. I want to see what people think about them. But micro trailers basically means that when you're scrolling through the new releases, there'll be like a little playthrough. Like it's a 6-second short trailer, which at least for us, like when we're looking through games, it's going to make it real easy to be able to kind of within 6 seconds tell like, is this like at least a like just shovelware, or is this another RPG Maker game, that kind of thing.
So it's kind of doing what you already do when you drill into the game anyway, because a lot of times you already have that autoplay, just that front little trailer on the front of it. But I don't know how I feel about having it like right on the main page, because it's a little internet intensive.
Oh yeah.
Because it's now you're loading 6 seconds for everything on that list. And especially like when you run into the time of like Steam sales or anything like that, hopefully they'd be smart to disable it. Because I know on this latest Steam sale, that first day when it was going live, I know people couldn't get onto Steam for hours at a time. So something like that would have to be turned on, turned off. or something that like the user would have to say, hey, I've got great enough internet for this, or I don't.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be need to be worked on if and hopefully there's gonna be a feature for like a low bandwidth version of Steam, which would be nice. It would be really nice if there's just like a low bandwidth mode to address that. That's some feedback to give. The other thing is recommendations, which try the interactive recommender experiment. So it's imperfect. It is very imperfect. So they have these two dials here where you have popular and niche. And as I say, I'll just give a little bit of image, but as I go through the popular to niche, what's on the top of my list? Well, Stardew Valley, if popular. But if we go niche, it's crawlers and brawlers. I don't see how this is very helpful because, like, I don't know. I'm not a hipster. I don't play a game just because it's unpopular or because it's very popular. I'm not either a sheep or a hipster. Like, I don't care. I just want to know if it's like a game I'd be interested in.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there because it's just like, well, I don't, like on here we look for hidden gems, but that's because we're trying to find people. This might be a good game that you might enjoy, and I would hope they would kind of do that on that page anyway. It's like this is something that you might enjoy because it's something that you
can dial it in.
Play. Yeah, exactly.
Well, slide it in, but...
Whereas something that's popular, you already got popular releases on, or at least on the normal page anyway. It's like new and trending.
Yeah.
No.
There's a second slider which is older to newer, like you can have it set to 10 years. And then midway is like 2 to 3 years. And that also affects like what's shown. But again, like I mean, maybe it's really helpful to see what the newer games are, like set it to newer. But I don't know many people who would want to exclude themselves from seeing only the new games or only the older games. I don't know. It seems like a weird mindset.
So to jump in just a little bit here, I don't know if they're looking at something to replace the discovery queue, which I know they tried pushing for the longest time. It used to be like, oh, you could get Steam cards if you go through your discovery queue. But I almost like the discovery queue because it would take games you've played, games you have in your account, and just kind of try to find the similarities. And sometimes you'd find needle in a haystack just going through a random list, where this feels a lot more like being able to kind of just like dial stuff in is nice, and it's a lot simpler than like going up to the game tags and then going by popular tags. This way you can start dialing stuff in, but they need a few more sliders for that to work properly. And I don't think at the end of the day, like for them to fully get like the full scope of it, they're gonna have to have so many sliders going down that I don't think it's gonna work. Where like something like Discovery Queue I actually really like, but I don't think they're getting enough hits to it, and that's why they're looking at other options.
My Discovery Queue is so messed up because I look at all the games.
The thing is with the Discovery Queue is that a lot of the times they'll try and push AAA games on me. And it's like, well, it's not really a discovery queue, is it? That's how I feel about it. Anyway, it's like I'm looking for something something I'm gonna like and enjoy, and it's like the things that you're suggesting are completely left field that I just would never even consider picking up.
And if they just based it on the games that you actually played in your library, they would know that like a AAA action RPG is not something that you're looking for.
Exactly. But it's most of the games in my Discovery Queue. That's all I'll get. That's all the suggestions I'll get.
Is all the AAAs
I've not found. I used to go for it quite diligently, quite a lot, and then I just gave up because it was just like, no, you just keep suggesting the same kind of games that I just don't have any interest in whatsoever.
So they do have some additional things that you can do. For example, you can show only games with a certain tag, or exclude games with a certain tag, and you can exclude your wish listed games. But these are just, I find it bizarre that its popularity and age are the two things they used as their metrics. Those are helpful if you're like, those are helpful in addition, but I don't see how those are primary metrics to use for looking for a game. But yeah. We have one more experiment, and this is the new and popular automatic show. So every day, it generates an automatic show of, just stuff on Steam. So, and what they have is they have one that was generated for July 9th. I do not have autoplay on, but it's just...
Yep. And what it does, it goes through a top 10 or a top 20 list of each different category of, here's the new and popular. Like if you would actually go to the new, the new and trending, I think's the tab. It's going to go through the top, actually 30 of those, and then the next one, top 20 roguelikes, top 20 strategy games, top 20 indies, casual simulations. So it's going through wide-ish. Yeah. Categories. There we go. I can think words. Words are good.
So I do find this actually pretty interesting. And at first I was like, oh, how deep is this going to be? And it's like, really, it's just 4 mini trailers of each one, which gives you kind of a nice coverage. For my purposes, I would be like, could you just do this list for like all the new games? That'll make it really easy. Just all the new games. Then I'll just go skip. Ah, this one looks good. Skip. But
yeah.
It's an interesting idea. I'll say that. Oh, we featured this game. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if Top Gun Buddy played it.
Oh, I do wonder. He didn't mention last time.
He was excited. He said he would probably play it.
Oh yeah, he did really like it, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to poke him about it.
So that is Steam Experiments. Now, despite like my kind of confusion at some of the decisions, I actually really like this. If just more options, more features, more ways to customize your Steam experience, the better. And I'm really looking forward to these Steam experiments. But it's important, I think, especially for, as RadioTom brought up, for bandwidth issues, which I didn't think about because I've got unlimited bandwidth. It's, that's a concern that people are going to have. So I'm using Steam. But yeah. Yep. So that is Steam Experiments. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, it needs a lot of tweaking. A lot of tweaking.
Well, and at the end of the day, that's why it's an experiment. It's stream page beta stuff is all this really is. It's either it may come out, it may not. Just something to go try out, support the things that you think are good ideas, give feedback on it of like, hey, I would really want this. Like the sliders are good, but I want more sliders. I'm channeling my inner Total Biscuit. I want more I want more sliders at the end of the day.
And I guess you just hop into discussions. That's where you leave your feedback. Okay, good. I was wondering where the feedback was located. But yeah, let's just go to the discussions link. Cool. With that, just a quick little thing. I discovered a really cool indie. Well, I guess he doesn't just do indie. He also does a lot of Switch games. But Whizfish, his reviews are great. Oh my gosh, he's got some of these really great reviews. He's only got about 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, but just a little shout out I wanted to do. Whizfish has some great content. And I don't want him to go through the hassle of like bringing up his page or anything, but check out Whizfish. I may leave a link. I don't know the guy. I don't think he really knows me, but I've found his reviews on a lot of titles. The last few weeks, a lot of the titles that we talk about, I found some of his reviews really insightful. So it's been nice. And with that, that's all. But yeah, Wizfish, Wizfish, so a wizard fish. Next, I guess we're just about ready to get to the meat of the show. Yes. No,
No, just
okay.
yes, I'm excited.
Yes. All right, good. So the first thing, we've got just 3 honorable mentions real quick. They are Gloomhaven is the first one. Gloomhaven.
Yeah, Basmodee Digital took the insanely popular tabletop game. It weighs about 20 pounds, over $100 worth, and are actually making it into a game. I pushed for this one to get into the honorable mentions, even though it's early access, but if you've ever played Gloomhaven, it is an insanely big campaign, so I'm not surprised that this one's going to take some time, and they're going to be adding as it goes on, but it's a tactical RPG dungeon crawler sort of game, and they're taking the kind of the pain in the rear bookkeeping of the game and actually putting it into digital form, so I'm stupidly excited for this one.
You know what? More of these pen and paper games and tabletop games that get a really fleshed out 3D experience, I'm excited for. Or 2D pixel art, or some sort of video game where it's like it does a lot of the math for you. That's really cool.
It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, this does not look early access, actually.
No. Talking to some of the friends over at Fantasy Flight Interactive, they're not doing this one, but they're working with the Flaming Fowl Studios, and it's one of those, like, the engine's there, everything's there, they're just adding campaigns. Like all of the different stories, because there's just so much, because there's 17 classes, 47 enemy classes, and the campaign has 95 scenarios, so it's huge. So they've got a lot to just keep adding. So it's one of those, I almost wish they would have said, hey, here's a release, we're going to be adding content, is how I wish they would have worded it instead. But that's the joy of early access, of like, well, technically it's not all there.
Well, yeah, and at the moment they've got they're saying that it's going to be 9 months to a year before it's fully out, so we may talk about it again come that time around. So 9 months to a year, we may be doing a post-mortem on how well the early access is and how it compares to the full release. So, yep. Our next title is Song of a Spirit.
So this came out on the 13th. So I didn't know whether to put it on the bad list, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it does. I mean, it does look kind of like very crunchy, but this was made at Game Jam, and it was like made in 14 days, and
so it's gonna be a little crunchy.
Yeah. No, absolutely, made in 14 days. Of course, it's gonna be like that. Absolutely. So, but the music is fantastic, and of course the mechanics for it is like really interesting, and you know, just something to explore musically. If you're, I think if you're more musically inclined, I think you would find this just very appealing. Like, nice little game.
Yeah, they took music and put it into a 3-dimensional game, and they're saying, like, you can play it forwards, you can play it backwards. They took out the constraints of time and pitch. I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually really ambitious for, like, a Game Jam project.
Yeah, absolutely. It's but it's like £7.19, so I'm like,
yeah, that is a bit. That is a bit. That's for sure.
But and there's like 10 sounds, 4 percussions, and 6 tonal to experiment with. But so it still looks nice thing to play, I think. So, but I would probably get it if you're musically inclined.
And
it's $9.99 US.
Yeah. By Eisenstadt Studio. Our final honorable mention is Gory Tale, which I believe this is out of Latvia or Estonia. It's some Baltic.
Can I say the publisher developer on this one?
Sure.
Njörg!
Yep.
God, I feel so much better. Nyarg!
Yeah.
Developed in Nyarg! Published.
Yep. But yeah, so this is this seems to just be a a first-person shooter where you're killing cute food.
I just love the characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so cute. But yeah, it is like just very simple, a simple game. But I like the whole mashup of cutesy and violence.
Yeah, it looks like someone had like a big love of Duke Nukem and wanted to put him inside a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm. I just like how these they don't splatter into what they're made of, like marshmallow juice or whatever. No, it's just blood. It's blood everywhere. It's just okay. But yeah, they just kind of follow that rule. If you just add a little U and 2 dots, you can make anything look cute. So, but yeah, it's pretty funny. I like it.
From New York.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's 15% off right now, so it's £4.
$5.09 here in the US, $5.99 normally.
Yep. Indescribably adorable characters and environment. Yep. Alrighty, and with that, we are ready to get to the release list. So I hope everyone's strapped in. This is gonna be a fun ride. Our first day is Monday, July 15th, and it is Break the Game.
This game is about Kevin. He's been stuck in its... Oh, hey, you stay away. It's me, Kevin. There's no point. Don't follow him into this adventure and humor-filled story to...
That is exactly what is written.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
I learned to read.
Yep. So this game is developed by Simon Fredholm. It is very positive right now with 88%. And it seems to be one of those, sort of in the vein of Pony Island, where it's a game, but it also is there's it breaks down to the fourth wall, and you're not in a game anymore. So, yeah. At least that's what I can tell.
I like stuff like that. I still need to play through Pony Island, but it's just the mechanics kind of put me off it.
I'll warn you about Pony Island. It is way more involved than you think. It gets so crazy.
This game is a sequel, by the way, to the small free game Escape the Game.
Oh.
No. Which, this was influenced by Thomas Was Alone, Undertale, Stanley Parable, Lisa, and various story-driven games. So, yeah, it's very much going to be trying to break that fourth wall style gameplay like those have.
Oh. Even Escape the Game looks pretty fun. So this 3 years later, the sequel. That's really nice.
Yeah.
It did remind me of Thomas Was Alone, especially, with the cubes and everything, the squares, and yeah.
Yeah. So it's gosh. And they have to be funny in their description too. So there's no, damn it. So you get a story when you scroll down.
Oh yeah. Let's not write this. Don't launch the game. It's stay away, stay away, stay away. Is actually down in the game descriptions.
Yep. Looks like the game's probably about 4 hours. I'm seeing a lot of 4, 3, 5, and some longer, of course. But I would guess it's about 4 hours, and it's going about $10 US. I don't know. These sort of games never particularly appeal to me, but I know a ton of people who love them. I'm not really a break the fourth wall kind of guy. I no, keep that fourth wall closed. Yes.
I want to be immersed in a far, far away world, far away from my world.
I don't need to be reminded about my existential dread, please. But
this is £7.19 right now, so it's about 4 hours.
Then $9.99, I believe, here in the US.
Yep.
I can read.
From a veteran developer, so thank you, Simon Fredholm. But I don't know how you're a veteran if you get one game out and it did well. So yeah, he's pretty much a veteran.
Yeah.
So with his second game. Okay, and so that's Monday, July 15th. There's again, I don't understand too much about what this game's going to be, so I don't have much more to say. So that's up to you guys to find out. Because even when I was reading the reviews, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Our next title is Summer Catchers. This is Tuesday, July 16th.
Okay, I'll do my usual thing. Summer Catchers is an epic road trip adventure of a lifetime. With your trusty wooden car, embark on a quest from the frozen north to distant lands full of mystery and strange creatures who ready to both help and stop you from completing your quest of finally seeing summer.
It's when I first saw the trailer, I first thought they were riding on lawnmowers.
Yeah.
I thought like, oh, Bart Simpson's stolen the lawnmower again. I was like, oh.
This kind of reminds me of I don't know, this sort of feeling behind this. At first I thought there wasn't a whole lot of gameplay and you're just kind of riding straight, but you do start to see more in the trailer. It's like, okay, there's obstacles, there's it's kind of like a slower Sonic, I guess. There's a bit of racing. They got it, like, you know, platforming, etc. But it's very pretty. It's another one of these pixel, just gorgeous, like just gorgeous pixel art. It's disgusting how nice pixel art looks nowadays. It's great.
Yeah. Catching some of the comments, it seems like one of those endless runners that you would used to play on like Newgrounds or Kotaku, where it's like, all right, you can get so far, you get stuck, then you have to purchase an upgrade like you do in an RPG, then you can finally get past it. So that it's been kind of the drawback is what I'm running into is if you weren't a fan of those endless runner type games, like they were saying, like, yeah, the art's really cool, but the gameplay is kind of lacking.
Right.
I have also seen some people push back in that, like, this is not an endless runner. There's a lot of, like, this sort of story progression that continues through it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I can definitely see how, for some people expecting one thing, that could be frustrating. Oh, it's so pretty. It kind of reminds me of, you know, when that first time you get, like, you know, a little wagon or a go-kart or something. And as a kid, you sort of imagines like just taking it to the far distant lands, or was it that just me?
Taking it on the road.
Yeah.
Discovering the country.
Seeing how far you can go.
In your little go-kart.
Yeah.
And that's this. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just what this game sort of reminds me of. It's just got that nostalgic feel to it. It's very cute.
And for Justin, there is an original soundtrack that you can enjoy.
Absolutely. It'll only cost you $4.50, so it won't even break your bank.
Oh, yeah, for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's like, where are you seeing that number? This game costs $10.19 on a 15% sale. My God.
Yeah. 10:19. So yeah, I am curious. How long is it normally? I'm seeing 7 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours. I have no idea.
Interestingly, so this game has been in must have been in production for a while because it says this game has been greenlit by the community. So this was
back on Steam Greenlight.
Oh wow.
But yeah, this is £7.89. So yeah,
I have no idea what country it was developed in either, because they've got so many
Noodle cake.
There's so many languages that they have it in. Let me see. Yeah, I'm looking on their page and they don't mention, but they've got it fully localized in several countries, so that's cool. Cool, but yeah, it's cute. The main character looks kind of like a character from Gorillas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I see it now.
Yep. And with that, but yeah, that's Summer Catchers. I am putting this on my wish list. I don't know. It touched me.
Do you want to show us on the doll where it touched you? Sorry.
Right here. But yeah.
My bad.
All right. Our next title is Grizzland.
Exploration is king. Swing your sword, jump, slash. The dinos break the game, shrink and enlarge. Jump again, explode, and recombine yourself in order to learn more. Grizzled planet.
First of all, I like the double entendre about it being grizzled because it's making a reference to it being gray. So, I did Grizzland, so I do like that. So yeah, French word for gray, gris.
Right over my head.
But yeah, I thought that was just a funny double entendre. But yeah, it seems that changing your size is an element of this game. And it's cool. It's got that very like Atari look to it.
Yeah, the main character reminds me of E.T. from Atari.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. True 8-bit. So oof. It's weird because I'm like, this is not a looker of a game, but it kind of is.
Yeah, no, I was thinking it's not some aesthetic. It's not something that I particularly like, but at the same time, it's like, you can tell it's done really well at the same time. So I'm in two minds about it.
Yeah, they've actually been able to convey motion with just a handful of pixels, which is impressive. They've been able to do that. Justin's got your back. But yeah, so it let me see. It's localized in, again, a ton of languages. It is developed by Kudo, who also made Neri, which I've not heard of. This came out in 2016. Oh, it's a running fox thing. Okay. Also pixel art, but a few more pixels.
And a endless runner. Well, a pseudo endless runner. That's what the Neri.
Pseudo endless runner. We've mentioned endless runners twice on this episode. How interesting.
Hey, we have a theme of this episode already.
Well, Grizzland is 10% off right now, and it's £3.59.
It looks like it's about an hour or maybe more in length, judging by the reviews. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool, and it's $4.49 in US money. So yeah, Grizzland, check it out.
Yeah, there's 14 reviews right now, and it won't load all of the reviews for me, but ones I'm seeing are all positive. So.
Yep. All right. So our next title is Lost Orbit: Terminal Velocity.
Prepare to embark on a perilous journey filled with deadly pirates, aliens, asteroid fields, and the emptiness of space. The definitive version of the fast-paced dodge 'em up, now with more levels, more story, and more ways to die.
Yep. There was a lot of times where I almost cut this from the list when I was making it, just because I don't know particularly why. I think as someone who doesn't like Glow, I think I was a little bit negatively biased towards this title, because it seems to overuse the glow just a little too much. But I will forgive its neon-soaked element, and I ended up including it anyhow. Because it does look kind of fun, even though it's in a genre that I could never really play. The reaction time required for this is beyond me, for sure. But it looks really fun.
Yeah, I can see what you mean by glow, yeah. When it at the sides and everything, and it's it's a bit much.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm able to tell my character apart from everything else going on, which is good for these kind of games. So I'll take it on that.
Yeah. I don't know, with the glow, like, it draws my eyes too much, so I'm like, what's that? Like, so I end up like losing track of where the character was. But yeah, the character does look, at least the character doesn't glow, and that's nice. They have rockets that glow, but the character model themselves doesn't, which is nice.
No.
It's it does have some story elements, which is intriguing.
And voice acting, apparently.
Yes, and voice acting. And the voice acting's not half bad, when I was listening to it. So there's definitely a lot of production that went into this. And the environment work, if you can look past all the glow, the environment work is really well done. I'm sorry, it just like it bothers me. It bothers me a lot, the glow. But yeah, the environment art is very well done. This looks quite professional, actually. 50 intense levels. Okay, so they got 50 levels, 5 systems, and 15 extreme challenge levels.
Extreme.
Extreme.
Yep. So this is either a remake or like extra adding stuff to their game that originally came back out in 2015. Just plain Lost Orbit.
Oh yeah. And Lost Orbit. It's actually more expensive. It's $11.99, and this one is retailing at $9.99. So that's interesting. But yeah, I guess it is a remake. More levels, more story, and more ways to die. So basically, took the original game and expanded it with some better visuals.
Well, it's 10% off right now, and £6.47. So.
Oh.
It's $8.99 US with the 10% off, so otherwise $9.99.
I actually prefer the old visuals. I actually do prefer the old visuals. Maybe, I don't know, maybe their trailer is just zoomed in, because it feels like you have very little time to react, while in the old one you seem to have more. Maybe the trailer zoomed in. That might be the case. I hope so. Anyhow, just my confusion about this title. I've had many conflicting emotions. Your thoughts?
What the thoughts on the Lost Orbit? It's not anything I'm going to pick up.
Yeah.
As I said, it's one of those I almost wish they would have just put out an update for the original game for the people who, originally bought it instead of re-putting it out or adding it as DLC.
An expansion of sorts, yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like it was warranted to be like a separate second game. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm the same mind. Yeah, you should just did an update, and because is it like the people that had the game originally, are they having to fork out for the new game, or are they giving this? Yeah, exactly, or
I don't know,
which is a bit, a bit mean. But yeah, it's not something that's in my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
but. I'm sure there are a lot of people who like these kind of games. So if there's something that appeals to you, do pick it up and do let us know what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah. Oh, I like how Justin brought up that they have the name Pixel Art, but it's not a pixel. They have no pixel art titles. So that is kind of funny. Then our next title, getting back into pixel art, is Beats Warrior Nian. Nian?
Nian.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do this for this one. Nian and Bao never missed the chance of an adventure. They formed a team to go to the Rune Desert for a thrilling journey. Nian will use special beat combat techniques to defeat creatures and bosses in several worlds.
Yay!
It was rhythm and music based. I had to.
Yeah, it's there's been a few of these rhythm games that have come out recently, most notably on the Switch, where you have sort of like, you gotta, what wasn't that the
Crypt of the Necro Dancer, but with the Cadence of Hyrule?
Cadence of Hyrule, yes.
Yep.
I believe that one has a similar system to this, but this one is side-scrolling, while that one is, you have 2 dimensions to travel along. But yeah, this looks cute.
And it seems like the beats in this one are much slower for moving stuff. Like you can actually plan stuff out better than doing the whole, I'm gonna go back and forth here for a while, and then fight this monster. Where this one, it's okay. The next beat's coming. Like 3, 2, 1. Now, next beat. 3, 2, 1 now, because yeah, usually in like Crypt of the Necrodancer it's bup, 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 and if you miss a single one of those, you lose your
Oh.
combos for your gold. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is
Brutal.
like baby's first rhythm game, kind of. Maybe it's not that easy, but it kind of eases you into the genre. So, but yeah, it does look really nice.
Yeah, I really like the style of it. It looks great, but to me, focusing on the rhythm and still having to move a character around, that to me that would just be too much to deal with, I think.
It's just like watching a subtitled movie where you just have one eye looking at the,
the
subtitles and the other eye looking at the action.
Yeah, you know, if I'm facing against something, I'm just gonna like jumps and whatever and hit something, and then I was like, oh, I gotta watch this rhythm as well. It's yeah. No, not for me.
Yeah, I think time limits cause both of us anxiety.
yeah. There's too much. It's too much going on.
Yeah, I recently tried going back and playing Crypt of the Necrodancer again, and I started getting into it, and then all of a sudden, I kept losing my combos every so often because I was trying to learn what everyone was doing. So it's like, all right, I'm looking up here, I'm not looking at the beat. So yeah, I feel you.
You just have to basically get in the zone where you have the internal clock going, and then but getting into that zone is difficult. Even when I played clarinet, I never was able to count in my head. I never got up to that point. That never could do that. Too many tasks at once. Anyhow, this one is $269. It looks very cute. Yeah. And at $269, it really doesn't matter how long it is because it's less than a coffee. It's less than a coffee, folks. Like if you want to jump in, jump in.
10% off right now. It's £1.88.
Yep. And it is developed by Liu Jiajun, and it is their first title on Steam. So congratulations, Liu Jiajun. I don't think I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but thank you for your game. So our next title is from Wednesday, July 17th, and it is called Please the Gods.
Journey to the land of the gods in this atmospheric turn-based indie RPG. Vanquish deadly beasts of Finnish mythology. Survive in the unforgiving wilderness and earn the favor of the ancient pagan gods. Because I never knew I needed a game with the Finnish mythology.
Yep. So yeah, this is really cool that they're sort of this is developed by Surma Games, which based on the name, that's a Finnish word. Are they Finnish developers? I mean, I could probably assume that they are, but I'm not sure. They didn't develop it in English, but they only developed it in English for English. But yeah, so it's probably a Finnish studio if they're basing it on Finnish mythology, but that's just an assumption.
The artwork is a bit crunchy.
It's a bit crunchy, yeah.
Yeah, that certain people are misshapen and they're not supposed to be that way. I don't think their intention was to be that way, and oh no.
There's the art style definitely it's not the most professional look, but at the same time it does kind of evoke that children's storybook appearance.
Even storybooks look better than this.
Yeah, it's
I know I want to try to be nice to somebody, but this so far looks like a good Newgrounds project.
Yeah. No, I'm in agreement with RadioTom. It should have been maybe on there, gotten more feedback, polished it up a bit more, Yeah.
Because I mean, as long as the gameplay of it's good, because it looks like it's dice combat with skill trees. So I mean, maybe the gameplay's fun.
Do you have the heart of the dice? An early access review. I like that. But yeah, it's it looks like it's. I have no idea how long it is because all of the reviews are from under an hour, which there's only 3 reviews at the moment.
There's one that's 5 5.5 hours on there. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it does look kind of interesting, like dice-based combat. So that's almost like a tabletop game, sort of.
Yeah.
If you're basing it on dice with modifiers. So it all depends on if their math is really good, and if sort of the elements to it are interesting. The story is going to need to be very good in order for this to really hold people's attention. I think it's got to have really good story. They are patching it. They have been patching it, so that's interesting. But yeah. So that is Please the Gods. Thematically, it's got me sold. But yes, the art is a bit crunchy. But I still kind of like it. I find it charming. I find it very
fight
charming.
you every step of the way. I don't argue with you often, but when I do,
very charming.
Yeah, this obviously it's not for me. It's 10% off right now, and it's £6.29.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. The next title is Night Call, which is.
I mean, looking forward to speaking about this one.
No, that's the deluxe edition. We gotta find the store page. There we go.
Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna do it this way. It feels like old noir, so.
Friend, confidant, therapist for you. As a cab driver,
You cut out, man.
people, your gift is getting people to talk, and in order to catch the serial killer who left you dead, that's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, excellent. But yeah, Night Call. So what happens is a corrupt cop basically is going to frame you because as a taxi driver, your routes have been matching up with that of a serial killer. So clearly, you or another taxi driver has been giving a serial killer rides around the city. And so a corrupt cop's like, hey, I can just pin this on you and be able to wrap up a case. So you've got to help me solve it. Pretty much. So it is a cool sort of noir mystery. From what I read about it, it's only like an hour long, but it has a lot of replay. There's a lot of possible endings.
It's $20.
Yeah, it is $20.
Yeah, that's what so when you said it was only an hour, it's like bloody hell, it's £15.49. So
maybe it's 2 hours. Yeah, okay, I think it's 2 hours. But there's multiple endings.
Still,
$20.
Yeah.
But still, and also with multiple endings, when people say it's got multiple endings, is it the last decision makes it the ending different?
Or is it everything all the way through is what you end up getting?
Exactly. Because I don't know if you can, you can input when you want to save it, and then you can just like go back and say, well, okay, I'll just change my last decision on that, and it'll just see the different endings. I'm in two minds about this now, especially for the price. That's quite a lot.
It's got cool style, but like you're gonna have to get there's as I said, there's 70 characters, but like does that imply that there is actually could you play the game if there's multiple endings? Could you play the game 3 or 4 different ways and not have the same conversation? Or like is it that branching? Is there a ton of stuff? It really depends. So
it's such a shame because the publisher, because when I was looking at this game today, it did have mixed reviews on it. Now it's got mostly positive.
70%,
earlier today I did see that it did have mixed reviews. So that's maybe people feeling the same way I am.
I've been reading through the comments here, and pretty much the most consistent thing is if this game price point was cut in half, sure. Where if it was about $10, that would be a fair price for what you get. But yeah, the price has been one of the most consistent things in the reviews.
Yeah. Really, a lot of arguments I hear from developers, it's like, but we put so much work into this, we did, and it's like, yeah, but it's the end product that your customers are picking up, if they don't feel that they're getting enough bang for their buck, then they're not going to be happy about paying.
So from a negative review, they did mention that the game can only be recommended for the narrative. So even the negative review implied that the narrative's good, and the tactics and mechanics are good, but the investigation mechanics are let down.
Which is kind of a shame for what the story is.
Yeah, and they're going to have DLC for additional characters. Are you going to have to buy that DLC?
Oh god, no.
Additional cases? Because right now I think there's 3 cases. There's 3 cases within this. So
this is a shame, because I really love mystery games, and I love having that sort of doing those sort of deduction kind of things, and it's really a lot of fun. And I do like the publisher as well. They do have some like really great games. So this is just Oh, thanks, Justin. Price would have been cheaper if they used an Uber or Lyft driver. If people wondering out there on YouTube what
yeah. I just thought that was really funny. My word. Great. That was a great joke, Justin. My word. Oh my word. Anyhow, so that's Nightcap. It is $19.99 US. Spicy. It does have a soundtrack, Justin, for only a couple dollars, $3 more. So yeah.
$17.59. That's just that is oh my god.
I need to jokingly say, let's go to G2A and avoid the region pricing.
No, bad.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the bundle. You get By Night called Deluxe Edition. You'll get the soundtrack in with it, but the soundtrack by itself is £5.90.
Oh yeah. If you just get the soundtrack, it's $6.99. My word. Right. On to our next day, Thursday, July 18th. We have Etherborn.
I won't do any fun sound effect on this one, because I don't know what it would actually match for this one. Delve into an environmental puzzle platformer built on exploring and understanding gravity shifting structures. You are a voiceless being. Boo! You are a voiceless being that's just been born into a world where a bodiless voice awaits your arrival. Okay, I like that part. Go forth and seek your purpose.
Yep. So this game is sort of built on there's a simple mechanical rule, and that is basically gravity changes over the course of a curved surface. So if you go over a curved surface, that'll shift the direction of gravity, while hard surfaces don't. So it's all this kind of puzzle of like shifting gravity in the direction you're traveling, and that's the core mechanic. There's some other additional things.
Kind of like Super Mario Galaxy meets Fez in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of the vibes I'm getting.
Yeah. It's interesting. I really like the different sort of environments, and it looks very beautiful.
Yep.
There's a lot of glow so far, though.
There is, but here I feel like it's at least slightly warranted. Another thing is the glow isn't You'll notice that there's light glow, but it matches the colors of the background. It's not standing out.
It's not intrusive. So I just had to give you I just had to give you a little grief.
Glow has its place. It does, and honestly, I could do with this one being a little less glowy.
It's a great show on Netflix.
Yeah. Yes. But I saw this, and it's very striking. It's now you do have this voice giving you philosophical adages while you're going about and trying to find the source of the voice. So it's like one of those contemplative, thoughtful pieces, which I don't know if it is going to actually be that thoughtful or not. But
I roll my eyes now, because it seems like a lot of those a lot of platformers, and it seems to be with a lot of platformers. Like, it can't just be a fun platformer. Yeah. It's got to have this
thoughtful narrative.
Which I'm wondering if people got that a little bit from Getting Over with Bennett Foddy. because that was like one of the first, at least within the last couple of year memory I remember, because it was like, all right, here's the guy who made the game giving all of this philosophical conversation, like, oh, you may have fallen down, but and stuff, just of that nature. And it seemed like there was a boom after that game came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen so many, so it's because it's like a staple of indie games, isn't it? That you do a platformer.
Mm-hmm.
There's like either like you do a platformer, or it's a roguelike kind of game. So, why not combine platformer with deep narrative and suffering?
She said deep.
Let me see.
Seeing an average of 3 to 4 hours on this game. I don't know if those are completions or not.
Yeah, it's £13.99. So yeah.
Oh, this game's reminded me of another game. I'm trying to remember what it is.
$16.99 US.
It's another title that came out recently, and I'm trying. You know what? It's on my wish list. One moment. Let's go. Journey over to Dewey's wish list. Chris?
Is it Gris?
Gris? It might be. Let me search for that.
That's kind of.
Yeah, it's Gris. It's Gris that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another platformer / puzzler that, to its credit, doesn't use words. But it is very sort of contemplative and thoughtful experience. It's supposed to be emotionally uplifting. Is this one? So, but yeah, about a girl trying to get her voice back. So some sort of thoughtful story, which admittedly it's on my wish list, and I just put Etherborn on my wish list. So,
yep. I really hope when she gets her voice back, she just goes, "I ain't no holla back girl."
How about that?
I'm a monster.
So is Gris about getting her voice back as well?
Yeah, because she loses her voice.
So it's both about losing your voice and getting your voice back. So both of these games have the same premise.
Yes, but different mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
I kind of like it though.
That's the thing. I do like. I really love indie games. I love like how they make these beautiful environments. And it's just, if you are going down an indie route, the point is that you're trying to make something maybe a bit different.
Yeah.
And don't keep putting the same stories and the same tropes in all the time.
Yeah, there's no group that conforms more than hipsters. just how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the thing is, like with Gris, is they do the cool thing where they kind of tell it without talking. They show, don't tell. This one, they do quite a bit of showing, but I feel like they also do a lot of telling with that disembodied voice explaining your motivations and thoughts, where really I think this game is pretty enough that you could get a feeling without narrative, without someone talking in your ear all the time, really. But I'm gonna check this out because I'm a sucker for those games still. So I hear I'm criticizing it, it's like I'm still gonna buy it.
Justin, so what if my parents will only let me get one?
Become Batman. Good one.
It was a little too dark, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Disagrees. Okay. All right.
Well, hopefully Drew Bear will let us know. He'll play both, and then we'll come back to this podcast.
And like, I'll either be like annoyed, like super annoyed, or a blubbering mess. I'll be one of the two. So I'll just.
Why not both?
Why not both?
It was so good. Oh.
And it was just super annoying and preachy, but it was so good.
It's so good. I learned things about myself that I didn't want to learn.
That's just like when I went on a zoo I went to the zoo with a friend of mine, the San Diego Zoo, which is really cool. But the tour guide was insufferable. Like, I was just like, oh gosh, just stop talking.
Like, really over the top, or
really over the top, and like, and it's important. Like, they're there to provide a service and like make sure that folks know like what they can do to help the environment and stuff. But there gets to be a point where it passes a threshold. It's like, you're not making me want to save the environment anymore, man.
I want to watch it burn if you don't shut up.
Like, holy crap.
This is how villains are made. Tour guides.
It's like,
Tour
no.
guides like that.
Like, dude, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I'm already on your side. But goodness, I really want to burn some gasoline right now.
Freedom fuel.
Freedom fuel, yes. All right, anyhow. Our next title for Thursday, July 18th is called Horace.
Horace is a story-driven pixel platform adventure peppered with nostalgic popular culture references, which will bring a smile to any gamer who enjoys the 8 and 16-bit era.
Yep.
Yep.
It's just kind of weird because it's mixing pixel art and 3D art and 2D art in a very strange way.
It looks fun, though.
It does.
Yeah.
So narratively, this game is basically, you're this Horace, this robot that's this personal assistant robot, and you like working for humans. You have a family that you take care of, etc. And then stuff hits the fan, and you have to. There's like some war that happens, but you just want to get back to your family and take care of them. No, your family's a bunch of humans. Like, you're the robot assistant. But you see yourself as part of the family, even though they see you as the servant.
The robot helper.
Yeah, the robot helper. So it's kind of an interesting thing about, like, just from this view of this robot that
life isn't so bad if you have a family.
And what I'm running into is saying that it's kind of eccentric British humor. So I know that put off for some folks. Like for me, I'm a big fan of that sort of humor. It's why I play Void Bastards religiously, because it's got that eccentric British humor.
Yep.
Something has gone terribly wrong.
I really like the way it looks, and I saw like there's like a flying section as well. You like I can't remember the game. It's referencing a game, but I can't life me remember. But yeah, it's. I'd be interested. I'd be interested to watch someone play it. I would watch someone play this.
Oh yeah.
And see what they thought of it. Yeah, but it's not something. You're gonna play it, are you, Tom?
I just saw what the price of it was.
Oh, $13.49.
Yeah, because before that I was like, I would happily play something like this, but then I saw that price going. I might wait.
It looks like it's 5 to 20 hours in that range, but lower end is 5. So
5 to 20. That's actually not too bad.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me find a negative review. What are people saying negatively about it? Because I'm only finding positive reviews.
It's 10% off right now, so it's £9.89.
Are there only positive reviews?
In English.
There are only positive reviews for this that I'm finding.
Holy crap.
Interesting.
Okay, interesting.
It's perfect.
All right. Well, I guess it's a good thing. So its apparently really that good. Interesting. But yeah, this is Horace.
On my wish list.
It looks cute, and you know what? Maybe it'll be Detroit Become Human, but good.
The only negative that I've seen is that's one's put. So this said, fun platforming, art makes the game appealing to look at, good music, story is interesting and emotional, humor that everyone can enjoy, but that's never the case.
No, when British people say that, you cannot believe it.
No, God no.
The negative is default audio is a bit loud, but can easily be remedied through the setting.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. There seems to be a lot of mini games where you like play games in a game, all that gameception.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
this is going on my wish list.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just seems really cute. My word. I like it. Oh, they just made a Peanuts reference. Look at
Why,
it.
did someone has the rock?
Look,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
got the
the
little
football.
thing, and then the shirt. It's a Peanuts
Yeah.
reference. That's cute.
Charlie Brown, yeah.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
That's cute. Anyhow.
The publisher is 505 Games
Yep.
on this, and they've got
Yeah,
you know,
Paul
they got some
Hellman has
nice
only
names.
made Horace, but the other dev, Sean Scapplehorn, also made The Artifact, which is a 3D game. Woken from hypersleep, you wake up on an abandoned ship. Okay. All right.
Looks pretty. The Artifact.
Nice. Yeah, it looks nice. All
Ooh,
right.
it's on sale for 79 cents too. I'm gonna pick that up.
Oh, you're just gonna pick up Artifact?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's 90% off right now.
Nice.
Yeah, so 79 cents. That might be a pickup. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, like it's 79 cents.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. Our next title for Thursday, July 18th is Warlocks 2 Godslayers.
There. Challenge the vile gods and dethrone them in this action RPG, mixing retro aesthetics with modern gameplay. Team up with up to 4 friends. I can read, I'm a professional. And online and local co-op. Choose from a cast of 5 powerful warlocks.
So there's some weird things about this game. Notably, it now has mixed reviews, which it didn't have it when I first looked. So buyer beware. It didn't have any reviews when I first looked at it, but so the Warlocks are really weird. It seems to be kind of a meme game because you have a goat that's riding a dwarf. Like,
Yes.
the goat doesn't walk by himself. He just rides on the back of a dwarf. So, okay. And then you have the Enchantress with a selfie stick. And like just a Twitch model. I mean, not a Twitch model, a Instagram model. But yeah, I'm like, what? What is this game? Because it makes a lot of pop culture references, and I'm like, I guess it doesn't take itself seriously. I guess. But it looks fun. Now, why is it mixed? Let's look at the reviews.
Yeah, some of the they're saying it's not the most flesh out in some of the mechanics. That the AI for the enemies are just stupid dummies that only react to certain triggers. Jumping feels really heavy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying this should be early access.
Early access, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying the AI is not actually very good, and there's yeah, and the gear only boosts your numbers. It doesn't really it doesn't give you randomized sort of loot that sort of changes effects, etc. So a lot of folks are feeling that it's not advertising what it really is, and you can't dodge. So
yeah, that's really weird.
It does have a really nice look to it, so it's a shame. Hopefully they end up updating it. So
yeah, because it's such a shame. Yeah, because
it's got a cool look. I like the character. Like I already really like these characters.
And it's 8 to 10 hours of gameplay as well. So it's 20% off now, so $12.79. But then again, if it's not, doing what it's supposed to be doing in the game, then that is a massive problem. You should have just put this out for early access, and that would have created a lot of buzz for this, and people would have been a bit more forgiving about the problems with it, because they would know that hopefully you would fix them. You're still working on it, and you're going to fix it. So, which I'll look in discussion to see if they've. Some people said aiming is a nightmare on a controller as well. So.
So just the controls aren't polished. That's unfortunate because it does
Yeah.
look like it could
Yeah, it
be
looks
something
great.
really cool.
Yeah, it's given me a little bit of a more colorful Dead Cells vibe.
Hmm.
And I love Dead Cells. It's such a good game.
More colorful Dead Cells. I need to remind you like what Dead Cells looks like. Like it's pretty freaking colorful, man.
But it's in its own way. It's this looks I don't know.
Okay, I guess the platforms are a bit brighter. Like there's definitely brighter
Yeah.
lighting. But you said that, and I'm just like, did we look at the same game? Because I like Dead Cells. Like people think color. Anyhow, I'll start ragging on you. I'm sorry.
No. I deserve it. I was giving you grief a
like-
while ago. I
was
gotta
like, wait a
comment.
second.
I mean, I could. Boy.
You can take it. Okay, good. All right, next title: Escape Lala 2. Which one is it? This one? Yes. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Our beloved princess is missing. What happened? Discover the world of Escape Lala 2. Solve mysteries, uncover secrets, and bring back peace and order to the world.
I'm on the wrong page. Where is it? There it is.
By Duck Bear Lab.
As the resident point and click player, it's obviously relying a lot on nostalgia. This is like pre Monkey Island kind of point and click games, and I get that people want to do that, but because like pixel art has gotten like so much better now, I feel like why don't you just do like the really good pointing, the pixel art that we see now, and I don't know. To me, when I looked at this, I was like, it doesn't quite appeal to me. The look to it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
However, the second one in the series, the first one came out back in February, and it's a freebie.
Oh, okay.
So it would be one you could try the first one before you spend the normally $4.99. It's on sale 15% off, $4.24 for this one.
Yeah, it's £3.39.
I wonder how much moon logic is in this game. It's probably a lot.
If it's like based on nostalgia, then yeah.
If it's based on nostalgia, it's gonna have a ton of moon logic.
Yeah. Lovely pixel art graphics inspired by classic point-and-click adventure games from the 90s. Should say early 90s, very early 90s.
Might be weird.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. The reviews. Okay, any negative reviews? I don't see negative reviews, so a lot of nostalgic people, maybe. But,
yeah, so it says, remind me of the good old games.
yeah, I was seeing a lot of the word remind looking through those reviews, and I'm like, I mean, hey, you know what? Steam, it's nostalgia. There you go, nostalgia porn.
Yeah.
Have at it. I never played these games, though, so I'm kind of looking at it as like,
See,
But you're not a point and click
yeah.
kind of person, are you?
See, or did you didn't really play them, did you?
No.
Dewey?
No.
See, I did, so
it should be affecting you, but it's not. And like
that's the thing. It's like I've seen like more recent titles. Yeah, well, obviously recent titles that are using pixel graphics, but they're not using that sort of really early 90s style. They're going like sort of past like post Monkey Island kind of graphics, and it's so much, and it just looks so much better.
Yeah.
And and the animations are better in it. So you think, why do you want to go back
You know what? I think this caters to people who only played point and click back then and haven't played the newer point and clicks. So they played point and click back then they got into Team Fortress 2, and now they're like, ooh, look, point and clicks. There's a point and click that's just like the ones I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very particular niche, I think it's going for.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, 424, it is by Duck Bear Lab, which this is, it's that. It's them. So, yep. They also made the demo, the free game too. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The next title we have is Golf Defied.
New generation of physics and mechanics multiplayer atmosphere for you.
The first thing we're going to say, before Roadie does, is yes, this does look kind of crunchy. It's crunchy 3D art, kind of. The textures are not ideal. But I saw this, and the thing is, these golf games don't even have to look good. They're sort of perennial favorites on Steam. And I think this is another example of it, where it just kind of... it does its job. And it adds some additional new stuff, like the really neat backgrounds and some themes in this one. I was actually initially concerned that this was some sort of asset flip, though. I was thinking it might be a clone of something else, and I couldn't find anything that this was clearly cloned by. So I'm pretty sure this is original art. But yeah, it does definitely have that look of, the golf games that are on Steam.
Yeah,
I'm mesmerized watching this.
I'm kind of in the same boat of
it
looks. Yeah, and I mean, I love golf with your friends. I really do, and I know that's kind of the one we're kind of dancing around saying.
Yeah.
Well, there's that, and there's a few others, but that's the biggie. And this still looks good and fun. I'm wondering if there's level building to it, or if it's only. Oh, you know the word I'm trying to think of?
Oh, yeah, it's only just, the theme park where you play,
where it's all developer-made, or if
developer-made,
there's user-made map. And
it doesn't mention user-made.
Oh, that's a shame. It would be nice to, make your own levels and put them out there for other people to play.
Yeah.
That would be...
Because these assets are a step up from the others in this genre, so it's a step up. It's not great looking, but it is a step up. But yeah, this looks really fun. I ever played Monkey Ball? Do you guys play Monkey Ball?
Oh god, yeah.
GameCube.
Yeah.
That's what this made me think of. It's like, ooh.
Except for not moving. Actually, yeah, kind of the worlds have that feel where I almost want them instead of shooting a ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only £2.31. It's 20% off right now.
Yeah, $3.19 here in the US, $3.99 without the promotion.
So it's not going to break the bank, and it is by Avalog. It is their first game. Anything? They have nothing in their about page, but thank you, Avalog, for a title. So
yeah, no reviews on it so far. It's going on my wish list because I like golf games. I really do.
Yeah, I see reviews in Polish and Russian, but I don't see any English reviews. It is fully localized in English, though, so...
It's ball that way, huh?
Yeah. I don't think you need too much text in a game like this. It's golf.
No, except for, maybe, par, birdie, eagle, albatross.
All right. Our next title is Fate Hunters, which, do you like card games? We got a new card
You're
game.
about to, especially with, the one after this, too. Fate Hunters is a hardcore mix of strategy, card battles, and a roguelike adventure. Build your deck, explore the dangerous dark fantasy world, and face fearsome foes. Risk your life to get powerful treasures.
There has never been a more 2019 game summary. Cards, roguelike, strategy, dark fantasy.
So true.
And powerful treasures. I don't know. I feel like I've seen all those words so many times. But, yep.
The artwork actually looks pretty good, though. It's not crunchy in the slightest. It's it's comic cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's still that dark, but I actually like how this looks.
No,
Yeah.
I really like how it looks as well.
It's got that, hey, you like Darkest Dungeon. We like Darkest Dungeon too.
Too. Yeah. All right, I'm probably gonna get kicked for this one. I think this has more color.
It does. It does have more
Dungeon.
color.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it does. Darkest Dungeon is very like they have a certain very limited palette, so this definitely has more color. At least on the same page, like they'll have like in this one you have blue and black, and then this one it's red and black, and then they do that.
I know that my biggest beef with Darkest Dungeon was it's kind of a bit muddy. Like it works for what the game is, but
I'm still stuck. I haven't finished that game. I've put 100 hours in that game and I haven't beaten it. Oh, I love it.
I'm seeing a lot of people, the people that put the negative reviews. It's like it starts off fun, but it quickly becomes the bad kind of frustrating. There's it's not very good balancing. It's not very well balanced, and
everything I'm seeing is, or at least negatives, are card game issues.
Oh yeah, the mechanics of the card game.
Because everyone's like, oh, I'm having issues. Card games are RNG.
Yeah.
That's like you gotta there's risk management if you can build decks or anything of that sort. Of like, all right, I know what I've got in here. I've got enough to try to pull other stuff out. But yeah, everything I'm seeing about the RNG, I'm just sitting here going, that's a card game for you.
I'm kind of a person when it comes to card games. I prefer the deck to like my choices to be limited because I get paralyzed by choice. And maybe this game provides more choice. You can now better build your deck with Gino Genpei and trying to aim in a direction. I mean, then you have positive reviews that are like, "Oh, the balance is so good," but it may depend on how good you are at building your deck.
That's why I'm just looking at the negative reviews and being someone who plays a lot of board and card games as like Vanna White behind me. 9 times out of 10 when people in card games are complaining about RNG, they're just not good at these kind of games, or it's maybe not really for them because they're not figuring the game out itself, or like you don't have an overpowered deck that you're gonna run through everything. You're gonna run into some issues.
I'll admit, in Hearthstone, I just play the Tavern Brawls because they like gradually builds up your deck, so you can you have a choice between 3 sets of cards. That one. And then the next time, 3 sets of cards. That one, and just makes my choices a lot easier because
it's a lot less intimidating, and you're not sitting there looking at like, oh, here's a list of like 100+ cards. I need to narrow this down.
Gosh, yeah. That's why card games, I like the tutorials. I like some of the PvE stuff that they do. I mean, the player versus computer stuff, those sort of puzzles, those are fun. But when it comes to like playing against other players, and it's just like, I do not have the time or the mental bandwidth to compete.
If I can go on a semi-small side tangent, there is a beautiful IRL card game called Keyforge. Made by the same guy who is it Clifford Garfield? It's Garfield something, and I'm blanking, but it's the same guy who made Magic the Gathering. But you don't build decks in this game. All of the decks are procedurally generated. So it is, you just go, you pick up a deck, that is the deck you run with.
Okay.
So it takes out the deck building, it takes out that exact issue that Dewey was talking about of like, oh my god, there's so many choices. No, I just go grab a random deck that's going to be unique, unlike anyone else, and I just play with that. So for people who are fearful of building it and want like a good IRL card game, go find Keyforge. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Good recommendation there.
Thank you.
But yeah, Fate Hunters, it will cost you $14.99, so it's definitely like that standard indie price.
$11.39 here.
It probably has enough content to warrant that. I'm I'm gonna guess about 9 hours. But with these sorts of games, it's a roguelike, so it really it's probably gonna have enough hours until you quit. But
and still sitting with 220 overall reviews, still sitting on very positive with a good amount of reviews. I'll take it.
Yeah, recent reviews are trending more positive with 83% as opposed to their 80% overall.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're making updates. This was in early access, so it's had a lot of time to develop. So, all right, our next title, our final title, I should say, is from Friday, July 19th, and it is Nowhere Prophet.
Prepare your decks. Oh, that sounded wrong. And go on a pilgrimage through the wasteland. Nowhere Prophet is a unique single-player card game. Travel across randomly generated maps and lead your followers in deep tactical combat. Discover new cards and build your deck as you explore this strange, broken world.
Ooh. So it also has this sort of tactics-like thing where you lay out the cards in certain positions. Ooh, I like that.
So yeah, it's kind of taking from the recent, like the big auto chess boom in a sense, for laying stuff out, but in card game fashion. The artwork is unique. At times, it feels a little crunchy on some of the things I've seen.
Yeah.
Like there's some of it that's like, oh my god, this is really pretty, really good, but like on the trailer, like they had the zoom out where they were showing like the actual card images themselves. That looks super crunchy, but then once you got into the actual gameplay, that actually looked kind of smooth and really nice looking. But the individual like card view itself, like, oh,
it seems to be that look where maybe the farther away you are, the better it looks.
Yeah, because the closer in you get, it's like, all right, maybe give those cards a border or separate a few things, and it's just oh, like the in-game part, the map, the background. Like there was one where it's like, oh, it's raining while you're in this fight. It's like, all right, that actually looked kind of nice. But, yeah.
This is published by by No More Robots. It is developed by Shark Bomb Studios, which
I love that name.
This is their first title, but this is considered part of the No More Robots franchise. Are they connected? I don't think so. No, these aren't connected at all. They're just all published by the same publisher. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
they're
that's not a franchise, Steam.
Yeah, they're kind of abusing that instead of clicking on the publisher. They're like, oh, learn more about our published games.
Yep. Yeah, they should say others from the other games published by No More Robots. That's what they should be doing. Anyhow, it looks nice. Another card game. So I'd say if you're finally feeling done with Slay the Spire, maybe check this one out because it's another sort of PvE card, but with additional level of strategy with laying out your guys. So I don't know. I kind of like single player card games.
Yeah.
This
one's sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This one's 10% off. 17.54.
Ooh, and it's $22.49 US. So it's definitely they're selling it for a premium. I don't know. I'm still kind of a maybe on it. So
yeah, it's what I'm running down into is more people are having the issues with AI, saying the AI is poor for planning multi-move for strategies, which for a game like this, it's kind of grand card strategy. So if the AI is dumb, that's not good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the AI should be both predictable, but at the same time, be able to find ways that can get around whatever you're doing. But content for this game: Nowhere Prophet. They do have a soundtrack and art book for you, Justin. You guys do Gloomhaven? Yeah, we did Gloomhaven. Yes, we did. We talked about Gloomhaven as a special, as an honorable mention. We will talk about it again in 9 to 12 months when it actually releases out of early access. So, and with that, that's the final title. Yeah.
I gotta brace myself. I don't like this next part.
Oh yeah, Roadies. So next, everyone, pucker up. We have Roadie's list of horrors.
So and very appropriately titled. The first game I shall present to you all is Back to Hell.
Back to Hell.
Back to hell, back to reality.
Oh, I saw this. God.
Oh, the adventure game of the old school platformer genre tells the story about a girl named Shizuka who goes to Devil Mountain to send the devil back to hell.
Oof.
It's $10.
Oof.
Yes.
If it was a couple dollars, I would be like, oh well, whatever. But
Oh,
even then, I would be annoyed. But oof.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell looking at it, this game is meant for mobile and tablet because they've got the buttons on the outside.
Oh,
yeah,
they do.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep, so it looks like it's just a port over.
that's awful. Awful.
Oh.
Especially for $10.
Oh my god.
Like, it's one of those, like, okay, it may look a little dumb and a little trashy, but I'm like, there's times like, oh, here's the flying spaghetti
They have the
monster.
exact same trailer twice.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
So it's like, there's times where I'm like, all right, this kind of looks stupid fun in a dumb way, but
No.
yeah.
This is a half-baked idea.
Yeah.
Can just
Yeah.
say that. Yep.
Oh, why did I
Just like-
agree to do this show? I forgot about this part.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
there's £7.19 right
Yeah.
now.
All right, let's hit me
So-
with the next one. Oh, you have something to say. Okay.
Let's go through this quickly. Yes.
Okay.
So
Next one.
next one is Dreams of Solari.
Dream.
Ooh, chapter 1. There's more to come.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Dreams of Solari.
Oh, no. Welcome to Dreams of Solari, a cyberpunk-themed 2D choose-your-own-adventure story RPG of high-tech weapons, vicious gangs, corporate factions, and twisted abominations. Make your mark as a mark of the lower city, or be crushed to dust by the meat grinder that is New London, the last city on Earth.
Now there is voice acting in this,
Mm-hmm.
but it's obviously the developer,
Yeah.
and they've turned it down so low. And
Oh my god, I'm listening to it right now. Oh, it's so bad.
It's really bad. Okay, so is this just a visual novel then?
yeah, this is a visual novel, and the backgrounds are quite pretty, and I'm wondering if they just bought them somewhere.
Yeah.
It's people have played this, and they said screenshots looking good, but at the end it's just text, no gameplay, just a few screens with simple yes or no questions on it. So yeah, even for visual novels, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, and I didn't even see anything besides just that guy's face and text. And were
Yeah.
there other characters? Is there
Only
additional?
the lizard man.
No, only the lizard man. There's only the lizard man. That's it.
Sorry, Gadeth.
Ever.
He has a name.
He has a name, Gadeth. Okay.
Right into the high level.
Yeah, this
So what you
say?
Hey, you can be a voice actor. That's awesome.
Oh my god! Dreams of Solari, hire me.
Yeah. They probably
Please
would.
don't.
The
Oh.
last that's free to play, you know. If
Free.
you ever...
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's free to experience that.
I feel better, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I actually do feel a little bit better. At least they're not trying to sell it.
So next is an MMO.
Oh,
Oh,
an
no.
MMO. Oh no.
Yes, an MMO.
Wander Fog. This is not going to be as good as Wander, I imagine. Wander Fog.
I'll do my usual thing, because it's what I do. Wonderfog version 1.0, quest and weapon. Welcome to the Endless World. Sand and stones. You'll be a lonely treasure hunter. It's an MMO. Why would I be lonely? Find the old artifacts and become rich. Do the quest and get the gifts and Steam cards. The game is simple, but you must know the rules. If not, you may have a bad.
You may have a bad.
You may have a bad.
So first of all, I know this isn't going to be a good MMO because I follow MMO news like a hawk, and I did not hear about this. Like I am on it. No, like I keep an eye on just about every studio out there, even the ones that haven't released anything yet. And holy crap, this looks bad.
So,
Wow.
like, go ahead.
Someone said, literally a virus. No monsters, no treasures. Can't pull out weapons. Walking speed is super slow, and sprinting does nothing. When you try to open a chest, it opens a blank web page that downloads something very shady and will make your AV go bonkers. Not funny as an ironic joke, and will more than likely give you malware. Stay away. So
Malware you paid for.
yeah.
It's only $2.99.
That's-
That should be a first warning for an MMO.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't know why Steam doesn't clamp down on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're more than happy to take down our links, but you know,
with like a literal virus that's being sold. Yeah, take it down.
And there's like no like report button on the page.
Yeah, it would be nice if there was a way to submit a report.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is, but yeah. Maybe you can comment in the community hub and go like, "Hey, Steam."
So
there is on the right-hand side. If you go to the bottom where it says "Share Embed" and there's a flag.
Oh, there's a flag. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I should have known to go to the bottom.
Okay. I didn't know that flag was for that. Yeah, report this product. Oh, okay.
Done.
Didn't know that was what that flag was for. I thought it was like to mark it for later or something. Okay, that makes sense. Red, it's supposed to be like red flag. So, you know what? On a positive note, I'm going to turn this into a positive. You want to see a crunchy MMO that has this sort of aesthetic, but is actually worth getting? I have gotten so many hours of joy out of this lovely title, Project Gorgon, which is, it's early access, and no, it's not very pretty, but this game, if you ever played Asheron's Call, this is like the new way of doing that. It's made by two people. It's mechanically fantastic. It looks terrible, but mechanically, this is a fantastic game. So if you're looking for that Duker MMO that very few people know about, and it's kind of like a niche thing, this is what you should go for. It's actually great.
I'm a little alarmed because I'm looking in my "is this game relevant to you" part, and it's giving me for Project Gorgon the Lord of the Rings living card game, and then the I'm ashamed to say that I've played this House Party. How is this connected?
I have no idea, because like for me it's like Tree of Savior and Path of Exile.
I've got Kinseed, so I've no.
That's so random.
Well, this one does have gardening, so there is like farming and all sorts of stuff. Basically, if you can think of the skill, they have it in this game. It's quite cool, and their art is always improving. But yes, it is a Duker of a game. But it's like this old couple in Florida that are making it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is why it's called Elder Game Studios, because they're two old people making a game. So yeah. Anyhow, so that's just me putting a positive spin. Like, granted, this is $40, so it's a bit of a drop, but you can kind of see that there are some negative reviews, of course, but the negative reviews bring up good points. But this is very much a labor. Like, you can tell there's a labor of love as soon as you get into it. So yeah. It's not just we're trying to get your money and put viruses on your computer.
Is there PvP? Justin asks.
PvP? Yes, I think. I don't know if there's PvP. Well, I don't remember. I don't PvP normally, but I feel like there is a way to PvP.
I pee normally.
Okay. God. All right, is that the last horror? Is there another one you
Yeah,
got?
that is the last horror.
Oh,
Only 3.
thank God.
I'm so close to Roadie, but this box is blocking me. No.
You got to use the other end. The other
Oh,
side.
I sorry, on mine it.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
over there.
Oh wait, on stream like that. But yeah, okay. So now we have enough tomfoolery. We have the best of the list now. So I'm gonna ask Rhodey, what was your best of the list this week?
So it has to be Night Call,
Night Call.
but with a
Interesting.
caveat, and
Get it on 75% off.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And plus, I want to see, if they bring out a DLC, I might
Yeah.
be more inclined to pick it up. Also,
Yeah.
that would also depend on how much the DLC is.
This is kind of a thing where like waiting for all the DLC to come out and then buy it when it has in a complete package that's like
yeah.
discounted. That might be more interesting. Because it has such a cool style, but my word, the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, especially if it's only like an hour to 2 hours for $20.
See, that's the thing. So Unheard. I mean, we were playing that on stream, so it takes longer to play through. But that was 6 hours, done, very well, very, stylized and everything, and £5.19.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Let me see. So,
Oh, hi.
RadioTom, what is
Yeah, what's
your what's your game of the week?
I'm gonna split it between 2,
Okay.
and it's only because one of them's only slightly there because I'm probably gonna pick it up and play it, which is Golf Defied.
Golf Defied, yeah.
I like it, and it's like my number 2 just because I'm like, it's a simple golf game, but it looks good. But I'll play it. But it's gonna go Horace.
Horace?
Yeah, the good old British humor robot. So many positive reviews on it. It looks good. So yeah, it's one of those that it's now on my wish list. I'm probably going to end up picking it up. I like how I say that begrudgingly, but it's mostly because of my wallet. But it ticked most of my boxes, to say the least. I like my platformers. I like the British humor. So yeah, goes to Horace.
What about you, Jimmy?
For you. Yeah, what you got?
Me, I think mine's gonna have to be Summer Catchers. That the bright pixel art, the theme, the sort of the gradual progression elements of it. Yeah, that has me pretty much sold on it. I want to get this game. It's really cute, and it just kind of reminds me of my childhood. So, yeah. So that's the game that I'm gonna put on it because I'm a sucker for this. But yeah, so Summer Catchers. Although, Please the Gods is on my wish list too. So I want to check that one out.
I'm almost surprised it didn't go to Etherborn for you.
Etherborn,
Yeah.
I am gonna get Etherborn eventually as well. It's on my wish list, but I think I'd get Summer Catchers first. So, Etherborn, I don't know. I feel like I know too much of what Etherborn's gonna turn out to be, but Summer Catchers, I feel like I might get surprised by the ending. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. So, but as it is, I still have so many games in my library that I'm avoiding buying anything. At least for now. But yeah, looks so good. My word. And yeah, so that's our best of the list this week. Chat, please let us know what games you thought were the best of the list. And now we're gonna let RadioTom just let us know about him and where we can find him online.
I'm trapped in this room. There's walls around me and I can't get out right now. You can find me at twitch.tv/TheRadioTom. I'm also trying to get the YouTube channel back up and running when I get some more free time where the world isn't falling falling down around me here in this
Free
tiny little
time.
town. We've had fires, we've had floods, we've had storms. It's been a nightmare around here. And then the 110 to 115 degree weather. It's been a week, so hopefully I can get back to the TheRadioTom stream a strum. I normally do it every Monday through Friday, starting at about 10 a.m. Central Time. It might be getting reduced to Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, because I want to spend Tuesdays, 30s working on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheRadioTom. I think it works. If not, just look up TheRadioTom. You'll figure it out. That is my shameless plugging, and Roadie's my favorite.
Oh,
Okay.
yay!
However, it's a tie with Dewey.
Now you're just pandering.
That's
That's how I keep getting invited back. I gotta go with my shtick.
All right, Rhodey, what about you? What's your plans this next week?
Well, I'm usually on Tuesday and Thursdays, 9:30 till midnight UK time. And yeah, we finished Unheard, but we'll be starting a new game this week, so be sure to tune in for that. And that is on twitch.tv /Roadypie.
Alrighty. And I am Dewey Bear, your host. I am streaming. I'm trying to get back into streaming, but when I do stream, it'll be sometimes Thursday when I can make it, but Friday, Saturday, and then of course Sunday, this stream right here on twitch.tv /DeweyBear, but you're already here. We also have a YouTube channel where all these past episodes will be uploaded. And of course, you can get updates on Twitter at twitter.com/DeweyBear. And with that, thank you, Papa Chat, Uncle Chat, for being there for us for this lovely show. And with that, we're going to say farewell to Twitch. Well, no, farewell to YouTube. Farewell to YouTube.
Yes.
Bye.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
Yeah.
And,
Ring the bell. Apparently,
Yes.
there's a bell thing
We
that you
love to
ring.
read your comments. So
Yes.
yeah. And with that, farewell. Now, cut.